Hey everyone, how you doing? It's been a while since I made a video. I think the last one I made was back in the springtime, just like an axe video or something like that. And I decided maybe I'll make another one here. It's the fall. It's a beautiful day. I bet you it's 21 degrees Celsius today. It's pretty warm. I'm gonna cut wood here in the bush this weekend, and decided, you know what, I'm just going to camp out. So I just got here. It's about 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I went hunting this morning. I went duck hunting, and I got up at 4:30 to go duck hunting, and we hunted till probably 11 or 11:30 by the time we came off the water. And it was a good hunt. There was I only got one duck. It's a black duck. I don't know if you're familiar with the North American birds, but just like it's kind of like a mallard, but it's a black duck. You're only allowed to shoot one of them per day. So yeah, I might cook that up later. I can it's good to stay in the carcass for a while if you want to just leave it, but I'm probably going to I think I'm going to just kind of roast it over the fire like shish kebab style. I don't know, I've never done that, so I might clean it up and do that. If not, I got a steak and stuff like that with me. But yeah, it was a good day. There was 5 geese they took down. They retrieved all of them. My duck, this one, and then another mallard. So yeah, it was a fun morning, and it was beautiful. Just one of those bluebird mornings with the sun came up and all the different fall colors, and just gorgeous. It was a good time to be out. But I came here afterwards, and I'll be cutting some wood. Just for the house and stuff like that, like using the chainsaw and whatnot. And I just thought maybe I'd shoot a video again since it's been a while. As soon as I got here, I set up my homemade kephart style kind of bed here. It's been a while since I used it. I think I used it once last year, and I thought, you know, if I'm going to come out and stay, I want a good night's sleep, and I've always slept good in this homemade canvas kind of bed. I spared the details of me setting it up. It's awkward to set up, and I'm always struggling with it, but once it's set up, it's just a perfect lay, and a nice comfy lay. Nothing, you don't feel closed in or anything like that. So yeah, I set this up. I'm tired. I think I might have a wee nap here in the afternoon, and then in the later part of the afternoon, maybe I'll start cutting some of this wood up around here. There's a lot of dead standing wood in this bush, so I'll be cutting some of that up later. Just a kind of relaxed day. I'm in no rush to do anything, and like I said, I just thought maybe I'd shoot another video. So I'll bring you along. Thanks. I forgot to mention earlier, my pillow here, I filled it full of leaves right off the ground here, just after I was done raking. I usually rake when I come down here, and raked it all up. I just put dry leaves in the pillow on the thing. And it's comfy. It does the job. And if anybody's wondering what the cushion is underneath me, it's the cushion off the chair from my deck. You know those chairs you stretch out and lay on? I took the whole cushion right off the deck there this morning when I left, and decided I'd bring it with me. It's not like I packed in here or I walked in here. Like, literally my vehicle's right there, so I could bring whatever I wanted this time. And I thought, you know, those cushions on the deck, when I'm sitting on the deck, they're pretty comfy, so I thought, you know what, I'm just bringing it. And it's really comfy. I'm glad I brought it. So yeah, I'm gonna have a nap for a bit, I think. Or rest anyways, and then maybe get doing some wood. Maybe. We'll talk to you later. Well, that's enough for tonight, and more than enough for tonight. It's not going to get that cold out. I'll take some of it home and probably cut more. I don't have a very big vehicle. I just like a SUV kind of thing, so I'm just going to fill the back of it. But it's just a mixture of quite a bit of cedar right now, maple, and there's I thought there was, yeah, there's some ash in there. So just kind of a smorgasbord. And I've already got some cherry that we had here. I cut it up already, and just light burning wood right now, especially I think at the house and stuff like that. We're not burning serious wood yet. We're not stoking the fire with maple or hardwood, anything like that right now. It's just not cold enough. Those nights are coming. So we'll just burn this light stuff, and while I'm here, most of this stuff too, some of the cedar is just punky. It's all gone to shit in the middle, so we'll just burn it here at the camp, sort of. And I got to split it up here, but I just wanted to show you some of the axes that I brought. I restore quite a bit of axes. If you've watched any of my videos, I like taking old axes and then restoring them and stuff like that. So I find that, you know, I do so many of them, you know, they sit around the house, to be honest with you, and I don't get to take them out that much, you know. Or if I have an axe, I specifically use that axe over and over again, maybe because I like it and I don't really give the other ones a chance at all. I want to restore axes to use them. I know there's guys out there that restore them like to mint condition and put them on the wall and stuff like that, and that's cool, because that's, you know, some guys just do that. But I'm more or less just kind of, I like doing it, and then I like kind of going out and using them when I can. So I brought this one I just finished. I've had it on Instagram. This is a Mastercraft head from a store in Canada here, Canadian Tire. So it's a vintage head. Canadian Tire was known to give Norland their boost in sales way back in the day. They supplied Canada and Canadian Tire specifically with their axes. I guess after a while, Norland, you know, established their name so predominantly in the United States that they didn't have to sell to Canada anymore, and they just became like Norland axes as we know them today. But what I found weird about this axe, this Canadian Tire axe, it is identical to the Norland splitter. I think it's called the splitter. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Log splitter or splitter. It's a 5-pound head. Anyways, I have it, and putting them side by side, there is absolutely nothing different about them. So I kind of wondered if maybe Canadian Tire started to make these heads because they were a good seller that Norland was supplying them with, so they decided to have a company make them. And I kind of almost want to guess that it was Norland making the heads for them and putting the stamp Mastercraft on them, because like I said, there is absolutely no difference in the head at all. Everything measures the exact same. But anyways, I put this handle on it. It was a beefier handle, and it's an ash handle, but the grain on this is so straight. It runs vertical up and down right here on the back spine. It's just nice, and it's kind of I gave it like a little burn, and then I sanded it down again. I just kind of like that look. I did the mask for it just the other night, actually, because I was bringing it out tonight, and I'd been carrying this axe around with no sheath on it, and so I went downstairs and I quickly made this sheath. It's really no big deal at all. I haven't stitched it yet. You'll find that on quite a few of my axes that I use. I got to go back and stitch them after, but sometimes I just want to get them done and get out with them. But for my leather work, I don't know why, but I mainly use wood glue to glue my leather together, and it holds forever. So sometimes I go back and stitch them, and sometimes I don't. But anyways, I tried something different because I wanted this to look a little distressed and whatnot, just to go with the old axe. And I don't know, I like mixing things up and doing things a little different and trying different things. You know, I don't care if they turn out. If they don't, then I just do them again, kind of thing. But I took this downstairs to the basement in my workshop, and I have one spot in the basement that the cement is all chunky looking kind of thing, and I laid the wet leather on it and then hammered it, and it put all these little dents and stuff like that in it, blemishes, I guess. I don't know, but I thought it looked kind of cool. And then when I put the dye on it and rubbed it in and then took the dye back off again, it stayed in these little crevices kind of thing. And yeah, it's different. I've never done it before, and I kind of like it. It's alright. Suits the axe. Anyways, this is probably more axe than I need out here. Like I said, it's 5 pounds, but man, when you have that stubborn piece of wood, it changes its mind pretty quickly when it hits it. So I like it, you know. And the fact that it is the same as the Norland, I'm not one of those guys that, you know, I don't want to ever take my axe out, but since I have this head and it's the exact same as my Norland, I can leave my Norland at home and put it on the wall if I choose to. I feel more comfortable about taking this Mastercraft head out and beating the hell out of it. So yeah, I was happy. I kind of like it, and you can find these in Canada around. You know, usually I see them for, you know, $15–20 kind of thing for the head, so it's nothing too expensive. But so yeah, that's that one. I will be using it, and I don't really need it, but hell with it. What do I got here? This is my Wetterlings. This is the only expensive axe that I've ever purchased brand new. Most of all my axes are used, found, or, you know, flea market, garage sale kind of thing. But this is the most expensive. I bought this brand new right before the company closed, or while the company was closing, kind of thing. And I love it. I'm so happy with it. See, when I take an axe out in the bush, I'm more of a, my thought process is more, I'm there to split wood with the axe. Now I have one here that has a very thin profile bit, very thin in here. It's more of a Swedish style axe. To me, if I take an axe in the bush, I want it to split wood. I'm not cutting trees down with an axe. I'm not chopping big trees down and then bucking them up with an axe. I'll bring a saw with me to buck up the wood. You know, I'm not going to chop away at it with an axe. But once the wood is bucked up into pieces, whether it be chainsaw or buck saw or whatever it be, I want my axe to split it, and I don't want to mess around with thin, tiny little skinny thin profile bits. You know, to me it's a waste of time. When an axe, to me, when I want to use an axe, I want it to split the wood in half, and that's what this axe does. It's got that huge wedge. You know, if you had to, yes, you could cut a tree down with it. I probably wouldn't. I have a chainsaw or a buck saw. Anyways, that's the axe. I love it. You know, I keep this in my truck quite a bit, and I shouldn't, because I'm always worried that somebody's going to break into my truck and take my axe. The axe is probably worth more than my truck. This is my main carry bushcraft hatchet kind of style. It's about maybe 1 1/4 pound heads, or a head. I made the handle for it myself. It was a piece of hickory, the only chunk that I had from something else. So yeah, I made a handle for it, and it turned out neat. I didn't try to make it fancy. I didn't try to make it nice and smooth and clean. I kept all the scuff marks on it from the rasp. I put a measuring kind of increments on the back here, so from underneath the head to the bottom butt of the handle here is 16 inches. Overall is 18 inches. So cutting firewood is you know, 16 inches, somewhere around there. Our wood stove at home is not very big. It's a smaller kind of wood stove upstairs, so I can't put great big full-size logs in there. So anyways, I did some what do you call it, scrimshaw work. It's just like a pine tree kind of carved in there, and I rubbed dye into it and then wiped it off, and that's it. And I like it. I like this little axe. It kind of does everything I need to. She's dirty. Looks like I'm cutting something sticky. Yeah. Anyways, that's it there. It's a very, very old head. No maker's marks on this at all. And the pattern, I really don't know. It's somewhere in a Montreal kind of pattern. I don't know. I love it though. It's just a neat, unique looking little hatchet to carry around in the bush. And it does most of my bushcraft needs, you know, most of the time. So I pretty much have this with me all the time. And oh, I forgot about this one. This is from my buddy Chris Killinger. If you don't know him, he's on YouTube. I think just under Killinger USA, Killinger. Anyways, if you're into New Orleans axes, you already know who Chris Killinger is, because this guy knows everything that there is to know about a New Orleans axe, and he has every single one of them. We became good friends on just over the internet kind of thing, and through Messenger and YouTube and stuff is how we found each other. And he found this little Norland Voyageur, Voyageur, and I messaged him. He showed me the picture of it, and he said, "Look what I just found." I should back up. He one time had a tomahawk, the full-size Hudson Bay tomahawk from New Orleans. And I was thinking in my head, I want it. And I didn't say anything to him. And he sold it, like pretty much immediately. He fixed it up, like pretty much within a day, and it was sold. Maybe 2 days after he had gotten it, sold it to somebody. So this time when this came up, I just told him right off the bat that consider it sold, because I wanted it. And he was very good. Like I don't even know if he made any money off it at all, really. I think it was more or less just a kind gesture. I even had him put his logo in it, just because, you know, he's a friend of mine, and I think that's kind of cool. If, you know, if anybody ever asks me, then, well, I can tell them the story behind it. And it was in mint condition. I just used it. It was clean, Chris. Honest to God, it was nice and clean. I just used it to, okay, whatever. And anyways, I got this from Chris, and it was so sharp. Like, I mean, I don't even know if I've ever gotten an axe that sharp before. Like, just brutal. Like, it made me laugh how sharp this little hatchet was. Sad to say, it's not as sharp as it was. It's still sharp, but not nearly. And I'll probably never get it back that sharp again. It had a mirror polish finish, and it was like literally shaving sharp. Everybody says it's shaving sharp, but it literally was like scary sharp. But I love it. This is the original handle that it came with. It's all original. It is such a nice packing little axe or hatchet, you know, throw it in your bag kind of thing, and it's so handy for that fine chipping away detail work, you know, kindling. It's just an awesome little hatchet. To be honest with you, this one is in my bushcraft bag as well. Even though I say I carry this one mainly, I go through the bag and I find this at the bottom because it's so small that I find it at the very bottom. So it's a lot of the time it's with me, but it's definitely used for sure. It was a very nice gesture, kind thing for him to send that all the way from Ohio to Canada. This is my other axe. I did this one not too long ago. I think I forget how much or where I got this head from. Flea market maybe. Yeah, it was a flea market. I loved it though. I didn't know until after, but it says made in Sweden on it. It says ELLBEE, so LB. That was a hardware store company that had Sweden make axes for them and put that name in there. So it's an old axe made from Sweden. But again, it's that Swedish style bit, that really thin. It would be amazing for limbing a tree, chopping a tree down for sure, you know. But limbing it, you know, after it's down, I haven't even used it yet. This handle's not going to stay on it. I didn't do a good job on it. It's just one of those things. Sometimes, four out of 5 of them you'll nail, but there's always that one that you just shit the bed on. This was one of them, and it sucks because I put a lot of time in thinning this out and everything like that, and yeah, I'm going to be cutting the handle off and rehanging it on a different handle. Actually, I think I'm going to go with a longer handle anyway, so that's how I'm trying to make myself feel better about it. It's neat though, there was gold paint. At one time this was painted gold. I don't know. So anyways, those are the axes that I brought out to play with. It's just fun, I guess, you know. You get to use them and see which one you like the most and carry it around for a while, and that's what I'm doing today. So I'm just going to split some wood, and I really got to get rolling here. I have a duct to clean still. I got to put my tarp up, stuff like that, but there's still quite a bit of daylight. And after I'm done splitting here, I got to change my shirt too, because my God, it's warm still. So I'm going to split some wood now. Just a chunk of cedar. Easy splitting. This is a 3-pound head, by the way, too. That Swedish axe I was showing you. She bites right through that wood, that's for sure. There's no resistance at all. And yes, I know it's cedar. There's not much resistance. There's a knot in there, so I'll probably get hung up in there somewhere in the middle. Oh, I like it. This is an old piece of ash. I cut it last year. It was soaking wet, so I left it in the bush. Oh. Oops. Another piece of ash. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Still, oh. Look at this hollow. I'm going to burn these tonight in the campfire. I love burning hollow logs in a campfire. When you stick them up like that in the flames and smoke shoot up. I'll save all these and burn them here tonight. Split this twice. Actually, don't mind this short handle. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about leaving it. I don't know. The outside's still good. It'll burn. Nice. Now I don't want to switch axes. I'm gonna keep cutting with this one. I keep chopping. Oh, surprises. I like it when things surprise you. Keep in mind this wood is soft wood. It's very, very well seasoned. There's no moisture in most of any of this wood at all, except for that cedar that's rotten in the middle. But you know, we're not talking the hardest of hardwoods, but yeah, it works all right. And she ain't too big of a diameter either. That'd make a difference. Dinged up the handle already. Maybe that's an axe to keep in the truck. So that was the 3-pound Swedish thin profile bit. This is a 5-pound monster. I don't know. I don't got anything here that'll do this axe justice, except for my chopping block. Something maybe. This won't. It's ash. Ash splits extremely well. If you're fortunate to have ash in your place where you live, you know exactly how easy it is to split and how nice it is to split. You know, it's one of those things you can just enjoy the day at splitting ash all day long. It's not always the best wood to burn, but for me, I think it's the most fun to split because it always splits nice and straight. I can't even play with this. I don't got anything big enough. Go with the Hudson Bay Wetterlings. I kind of wish it had a longer handle on the Hudson Bay, but it wouldn't be really packable if it did, so there's a give and take. It's got weight. It's only 2.5 pound head, but it has a really nice swing to it. Like, it just feels like there's a lot of forward weight. I don't know how to explain it, but you know, the Swedish axe over there's got a 3-pound head, and it moves through the air differently or something. I'm not sure, but maybe it's the combination of being a 24-inch handle, 2.5 pound head. You can get a good swing on this little thing. You don't get a long stroke though. You got to be close to your work, and I don't always have the best aim up close for some reason. Like I said, I think that was just a clean miss though. I find too, when I'm swinging this axe, I'm right down at this handle, like right down at the end of it, just because I'm looking for more length on it. So I put this lanyard on it not only to hang up when I'm in the bush. It actually kind of helps my hand stop a little bit But like I said, I find myself right at the end of it. So I wish they had flared out the ends of their handles, but what do you do, right? Can't complain now. There's nobody complain too. So I'll take you a little tour around this little kind of a camp area that I have. Like I said, it's just a place where I come and cut wood kind of thing. And while I'm here, I just take the time to, relax. And so this is my setup for tonight. I've got always with me my canvas bushcraft chair. I made that. I love it. It comes with me all the time. Yeah, it's a little bit more weight, but it's rugged and sturdy. This is my bed. I've showed this before. That's the kephart style bed that I made. And like I said, where is it? I took that right off the deck. That was my deck chair cushion. And I'm going to sleep on it tonight. And in here, the pillow, I just filled it full of dry leaves. So that's my pillow for tonight. And I just have my bag here hanging on the tree for all my stuff. My little duck, little black duck. I'm gonna take the breast meat out of that right after this. And this is a pot that I leave here. Just kind of hangs in the tree for whatever I need. I don't know. It's just here. Little spatula. Hooks on all the trees around here. Hang stuff up. This was I guess you'd say a sawhorse for chainsawing wood. It's rotted out though, and now it's just here. It just holds a bit of wood closer to the fire. And this was a steel barrel that was here. I just dragged it up out of the bush, and I fill it full of just dry wood. And that way, if I come here after a rain or something like that, I always have dry wood. And that's about it. This is where I am tonight. It's too bad we just had a whole bunch of wind 2 days ago. So the canopies were still loaded with all the leaves changing color. And of course, right, I'm at work, it got windy. I come here on the weekend and the canopies are, well, there's not a lot of leaves left. Which is too bad, because I always enjoy that part of the fall, is when you come in here and it's a sunny day and you got that orange glow through the forest. It's one of my favorite times, and it just seems to be this area, there's other places where I hang out and stuff like that. They still got quite a few leaves, so this must have just got hit worse with wind. But anyways, it is what it is. So I got to get this duck cleaned up, and like I said, I'm just gonna shish kebab it right over the fire. A bit of seasoning and stuff like that. So we'll see in a bit. Most of my ducks, I just take the breast meat. The odd time, if it's a real good big fat duck, we'll do the whole thing. But and when it's warmer, or I mean the carcass of the animal when it's warmer, I do the whole thing. But I've left this most of the day. Everything in it, guts in it. And that's the thing about ducks, is you can leave a duck with the innards and everything in it, and if the temperature's cool outside, you can leave it for days. There's that old saying that people used to hang their ducks up by their necks until the body dropped off, and then they would clean them. I've never left it that long. I've stretched it day, 2 days. Yeah, it's just kind of strange that you can leave the animal with the innards in it and still eat it. Not like big game. Big game, you're rushed. You know, when you look at these ducks too after you shoot them, you can just tell, sometimes cold weather's coming. You can see all these new pin feathers in here just starting to come out, and that's usually a sign that the cold weather's coming. It's on the way. Plus too, there wasn't a lot of wood ducks when I was hunting today, so they're thinning out. They're the second to go. Usually it's the teal that go first around here, and then the wood ducks. And there's very few wood ducks and teal. I think we saw one teal fly through. I can't shoot them anyways. They're too fast for me, and I really don't like eating them. I like the wood ducks and the mallards and the black duck, which is pretty much a mallard, I think. So what I like to do, and everybody does it differently, I score, there's a breastbone right here down the center, and I'll ride it till the skin opens up just a bit. Once I see it, it's getting dark too, it doesn't help. Slide my knife down it. There's a piece of meat right next to that breastbone, that center breastbone. We call it the, I don't know, the backstrap, the sirloin. It's a small piece of meat, and it's tender. And these are a lot easier to do when it's warmer. So I don't keep when I cook it like this, I'm not going to keep the skin, which contains all the fat. That's coming off. This guy got hammered in the breast. Hammered. Looks like he took a full shot right to the breast. There's duck mites that are on ducks, and they're so hard to get off your skin when they crawl on you. It's strange. I don't know if they can hurt you. I don't think they can. I don't think they really do anything. But they live on the ducks. They're these weird little bugs. Usually they leave the body when the body's cold, but I just had one on me, and they stick to you. Like, you can't brush them off. You got to pick them off pretty much. So once the whole breast is exposed, and I'm sorry I'm rushing because I'm running out of daylight here now. Just try and make sure I get that tender meat. I come up around the Y bone. And there's a lot of meat in there too. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. And it's kind of like a fish, you just follow it along the bones, peeling the meat back. And I'm not doing the best job here, but a nice one slab. Get the other side here, and I might go in and get the heart too. I usually always get the heart. I'm not a gizzard person. I really don't care for the gizzards. My brother-in-law, my father-in-law, they love the gizzards, and to me, I don't know. There's something. It's the texture. It's strange, almost crunchy. That's not for me. But I like the hearts. This side's going a lot nicer. It's like a fish. You always do one side better than the other. I don't know why. Left-handed, right-handed maybe. So tonight I'm going to just, like I said a few times now, just going to shish kebab it, but I'm going to put some seasoning on it, and I just carry the seasoning in my bushcraft bag with me. It's in there all the time, and it's the Old Faithful Old Bay, you know, the bushcrafters seasoning of choice, I think. Kind of funny, you see it everywhere, and I see it a lot in bushcraft videos. But you put it on anything. You put it on seafood, poultry, chicken, or whatever. So that's about it. That's all the meat off the breast. There's really not much more meat on a duck, you know. Like I said, if the duck's bigger, you might get some leg meat and stuff like that. If you're doing a few of them in a roasting pan, yeah, just do the whole bird and the meat just falls off. So anyways, I've just slit underneath the rib cage here at the very bottom. As soon as you go in, there's a gizzard right in there. I go past it with my finger, and if you push your finger all the way up, there's a little round football, and you pull it out. That's the heart. And that's it. You don't really get too messy cleaning a duck like this, you know. And that's what's left. Good bird. Check it for bands. Imagine that. No bands. And I'm going to put this in the truck for the night, I think. If not, I'll drive down the road, toss it back in the bush further. That's about it. Now I'm going to get a stick and start a fire and cook my meat. It's my food storage bag. Bay. I'm only going to do half a breast. I took both the little sirloins, put them in there. Sprinkle lots of this in. Shake it all about. A little bit more. There we go. This is just a sausage. I'll just kind of alternate it here. Seasoned piece of duck. There. Oh, maybe a little 2 pieces of duck. I can't believe it. The temperature here dropped and the mosquitoes are still here. They never let up this summer. I better put that on there too. And we'll put you on too. Hopefully you can still see that. That is my dinner. Duck and sausage. I think we're losing too much light. You're not going to get to see the finished product here. But I'm hoping it's going to be good. And it's definitely going to cook up there, as long as I can keep it away from the flame. I'm in one of those positions where I'm just starving, so I want it to get cooked. Anyways, I don't know how much more filming I'll do tonight. I think the rest of the night is cook this duck, eat the sausage, eat the duck and sausage, probably have a tea or something, and then listen to some Coast to Coast with George Knapp. Maybe some alien conspiracies or something, you know. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. So I'll probably end the night listening to Coast to Coast and snuggle in the hammock there. And I think there's no chance of rain tonight, so it's going to be a nice night in the bush here. We'll see you in the morning. Well, I didn't do much filming today. When I got up, I woke up with a headache. I think it was probably because I just didn't drink enough water yesterday. And that's the problem. I come out here and I just want to get to work. I want to do stuff, you know. Sometimes I just don't slow down and drink enough water. But after I cooked that duck, I have to say that I think that's the best way I've ever cooked duck in my life. That seasoning on the outside, I slow roasted it over top the flames, so it kind of became crunchy and hard on the outside, and it was as tender as a medium rare steak in the middle, and it was amazing. I thought after I should have cooked up both sides of the breast, but I didn't, and I definitely will be doing that again. That was awesome, you know, and you know, maybe another time try a different spice or something like that, but there was nothing wrong with that Old Bay on it. And yeah, I haven't been doing much today. I slept in a little bit. I stoked the fire last night, maybe 3-4 times kind of thing, just to keep it going. But I really didn't need it. I was pretty snugly warm in that sleeping bag that I had with me. And I just been chopping wood. So anyways, that's about it for the video. And I appreciate watching. Thanks for your time.